All right. Well, we've reached the end of our app. As you can see right there, it's called BudgetMan. We have a little symbol for it as well. And yeah, basically what we have is a budget app. So when we first open up our app, um, we have our basically an activity to set our base monthly income. So if I go ahead and set it to just like any number, say 500 or 5,000 or 6,000, that works. And then you save it. So now it brings us to this. This is our main activity. So we have displayed there like the monthly income, how much it is. And basically the user, like just to add things to the budget, if they go ahead and press the button at the bottom right, they can add a category for their budget. So if I put in here, say food, I don't know, $500, then we save it. It gets added, what is down here, it gets added to this. It's called a recycler view, basically. It just self-contained at the bottom of the screen, and you can keep scrolling, but it's like within that rectangle that you see there within those parameters. So every time you add a category, it will continue to add within the recycler view right there. So yeah, that's a really neat part of that. And if you look at the top right as well, there's another button for just like basic settings. That's the top right button. So you can reset the budget whenever you want. We don't have to do that right now, but it'll bring you back to that activity where you can just set the income to wherever you want it to be. And you can edit your monthly income whenever you want as well. And yeah, so that's a really nice feature. And then we'll have Dan talk about the graph and how we're able to store all the data.
Yeah, in order to see the functionality of the graph, you'll be better to see with Spencer functionality for adding transactions. Is it okay?
Yeah, so I worked on the add transactions feature. So right now you could just add your transaction amount. Let's say like $100. And so right now we only have one category. So if you click the drop-down menu, it'll just show the remaining categories. So we'll just press add. And so what that does is, number one, Nathan added a little toast that shows whether or not you're within your allotted budget. And then it will pop up the transaction on the graph with just the amount that we've added for the transaction, but not the categories. Let's add maybe another category. Let's add like, I guess, fun. Let's give it like $200. So then we can go into transaction. Let's add, I don't know, like $50 on the fun category. And so that pops up as well. We'll let Dan talk about how that data is stored and how it shows up on the graph.
Yeah, thank you. We've pretty much shown all the integrated functionality, right? And as we've seen, we had let's say a toast right there that was done by Nathan. But we added, let's say I was working on let's say adding these calculations here. It shows the setting data, right? Also the spend data. And whenever you go, let's say, we're just gonna add another category here. I don't know, I'm just going to add car, I don't know, with 200. And if we come here to transactions, right, we say that we spent 200 in the car, right, for something, that's of course going to continue adding to the graph, right? The graph always is going to show what's going on with the entire budget. But I'm also willing to show that it is showing here, it has 0 left, right? But when we then add something else to that car category, let's say 1 cent, and it was the category, right? And we add it, that is going to show that the budget amount exceeded, and it is also going to show that category summary or details in red with the detail of what's going on with it. As we said, let's say that graph is going to be, let's say, showing every single category with a corresponding sum of them. And we also did our application to store all that data on the SQLite database. So whenever we go ahead and open it up, it is going to show it again. So these, let's say, categories here are very, let's say, stack up, right? But if we add just, I don't know, some additional money on transaction, I don't know, let's say 600 in food, or, sorry. If we add just, I don't know, 800 on food, so we'll be able to see that the categories are spanning properly around the graph, right? That's pretty much.
And then we'll just show off the remaining two features. If you click the top right gear, we have the remove categories feature. So let's say I no longer want fun to be on there. So I'll just type the name of the category, remove, and what it'll do is it'll look through the database and it'll grab every transaction related to that category and then delete the category as well. Nathan's going to show off the reset budget feature.
Yep. So yeah, if you have a change of income or just whatever, like you want to start your budget over completely with different categories, whatever you want, you can just reset the budget at any time. So go ahead and click that. And some other income, maybe you got a raise, so you have 6,000 or something like that every month. And then save. And basically it just clears all the categories and everything, so you're just starting fresh. And you can just keep going from there. So that's really nifty as well. And yeah, overall, we had a really good time making this budget app. I now use this personally, so it's kind of fun. We hit our stretch goals for sure. The graph was definitely one of them, getting that to work, put everything inside of a database. And we actually added some things we weren't even planning on, such as the feature that Dan added with the, basically if the budget's exceeded, like it'll mark everything in red and like we'll have a little pop-up showing us. So that was really a good experience. And yeah, I think that is about it with everything we have in this app. I don't think we mentioned our names. I'm Nathan.
I'm Spencer.
And this is Dan. Thank you for watching this video. And yeah, we agree. We enjoyed working together and enjoyed building up this app.